Thank you so much for joining. Today we have Jeep Kline all the way from California today. Hi, Jeep. How's it going with you?
Really well. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you so much for being on the show. We're so excited to have you.
My pleasure.
Awesome. So, Jeep, I would love to know more about yourself, about how you got into investments, and a little bit about your interesting journey. Why don't you share with us?
Yeah, well, I consider myself an oddball in Silicon Valley. I have to say that. I'm an economist by training. I started my career at the World Bank in Washington, D.C., serving ministries of finance in emerging markets in Latin America, Eastern Europe, in Asia. I'm from Bangkok, Thailand, and also in Africa. And I realized that when I traveled to many countries, I started to see the rise in the tech industry, and I thought that tech was going to be big. So I kind of packed my bag and moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, where I am right now in San Francisco Bay Area. And along the way, I got my MBA from Berkeley, started my tech journey more than a decade ago at Intel. Where I helped create low-cost Android-based devices for the company when Android was created. And it was the right place at the right time. The project was very successful. I then I was asked to run one of a startup company as a COO. So I couldn't say no. I was like, wow, this is new. It was my exposure to startup and also VC industry. I noticed how VC select companies to invest in, what company they decide not to invest in, and I learned a lot in a very short period of time. So during that time, I went to Berkeley, and Dean Shankar Sastry also asked me to help engage with Skylab, which was an incubation program under UC Berkeley to help mentor a lot of CEOs and founders. And so I couldn't say no. I said yes. And it's kind of like, rolling from there, one incubator expand to other incubators who asked me to become advisors, ambassadors, and whatnot. So I was hooked. I was like, this is amazing. I can create more impact by being a VC than running inside a company. Just pick a company to run in. So most recently, I created my own venture fund, and I launched it last year with my friend who I met at Berkeley. And the fund basically really target emerging markets founders who are overlooked and underserved. And I am an economist by training. I came from emerging markets, and I really want to bring this back and create an access to a lot of entrepreneurs who might not have the chance to be in Silicon Valley. So that's my background in a nutshell.
That is amazing. And it's really incredible that, coming from somewhere so far and taking so many risks, like, how did you feel that, did you ever have this kind of fear that it might not work out? Or did you ever have this kind of fear of what ifs in your head? And how did you deal with that when you went through this journey?
Yeah, of course. And life is a series of trade-offs. That's what we say in economics. So every time when I made a change, I realized that there's going to have to be a trade-off, right? Maybe it might not happen at all, but that's also I would say the beauty of technology industry, because failure is accepted, and as long as you learn from it and use it to improve the next venture that you want to do. But, I have that in the back of my head all the time, always have sort of like, think about a plan B. What else can I do? How can I help entrepreneurs de-risk their own business if I invest in? I mean, there are a lot of things coming into my mind, but I agree with you. So that is something that I think a lot about.
Awesome. And so there are a lot of people in our audience that watch who are either in entrepreneurship or they're thinking about joining a startup. So when you first joined a startup, you didn't know where it was going to go. You didn't know that it was going to be sold. It may never be sold, right? So what were parts of and factors of your decision making? Did you have a plan B at the time, and what was it?
When I was running a company, when I was an operator, I didn't have a plan B, so I gave it all 100%. And usually after the experience, what come out of it helped me create the next journey. And I think that, and this is why, as in a way, working not just in a startup, but also in a big enterprise, coupled with my experience traveling a lot of to so many countries, it actually helped inform me to be hopefully a better investor, because I realized what entrepreneurs and founders really want, especially they're from emerging markets. How are they going to scale? Can they get into the US market? Can they get into the Canadian market? Can they break, we call it break the ceiling, right? To raise fund from the top tier VC, how can they do that? All of these things, without looking back, without taking risks and wearing multiple hats. I call myself a generalist. I don't think that I could coach entrepreneur and help them solve the problem effectively.
That's absolutely right. And speaking of, breaking the ceiling, and, you have broken a lot of ceilings on your personal side and your professional side, coming all the way from Asia to now raising your own fund, which is amazing, and helping those with underserved markets. So all of those are, very unique and very difficult things to do for sure. What advice do you have for either other females that are looking to get into the investment industry, or female founders looking to raise money for the first time?
If I can do it, they can do it. I mean, you're gonna have to do it. It's quite interesting. A lot of people ask me how I break in, and I think that to answer this question, I think I saw the problems inside the VC community. When I was running a company, I see how they choose to invest in startup or passive startup deals. And I thought to myself, this is actually not fair. It's really a little bit inside their own bubble.
Yeah.
And this is why diversity is a must. And this is why you and I are doing this, because we know diversity impact the bottom line. There are a lot of emerging funds that really try to democratize wealth and democratize knowledge and open access to capital, whether in the US, in Mexico, in LATAM, in Asia. We have to do that.
Perfect. And so for the first-time founders, or the people who are fundraising that are listening, what kind of founders are you specifically looking for?
Currently, my fund is focused on Latin America, and it is Spanish-speaking countries, so outside Brazil. We are looking to the local markets because it's growing really fast. Local founders especially, but if local founders at one point used to come over here and join an incubation program here and move back, we also consider them, as long as they know how to use competitive advantage in that country, whether that may be lower cost of operations, whether that may be some insight in terms of the industry vertical that they can scale locally that may not exist here, like e-commerce is still booming in LATAM. We look into cross-sector, including fintech, direct-to-consumer, edtech is coming really, really fast. Anything related to food tech, which is the core competency in the country, in the region, and also sustainability. So these are the type of sectors and the founders who we are looking for, who really understand and have deep knowledge locally. They don't have to be here. They don't have to be American educated. They don't have to have the inner circle. But that's actually good for us, because we come in at seed round. We lead the round and we coach them, we grow with them. And when they're successful, we follow on rounds and also help them, match them with VCs in the US and also in Europe.
That is fantastic. That's great. And it's so great to see, future forward looking VCs like yourself that are looking into trends in the future. So why do you think that these kinds of trends are more important in 2021 than ever before? Because we're seeing a lot more that are going towards emerging markets, maybe not as niche as yours, but why did you follow in that path, would you say?
I think it comes down to skills, knowledge, and network. I'm a global citizen, and I was trained as a development economist, and I see that it has been the opportunity that has been inside me and what I've seen through my travel in the past 2 decades. Now, the market back then was not quite ready. But if you look in terms of the ecosystem development, the number of the startups, number of VCs, and the amount of money that VC would put into different regions, like in LATAM or in Asia, it's easily say double every year. So my skills, the knowledge, and also the timing is right? And we have to have the network locally. So my partners and people in my fund, they locate in the local region, so they know how to access top deals. And those really help create the foundation of being successful as a fund and bring the knowledge that we have and learn here to the local markets. So I think if I can put it in a nutshell, it comes down to these.
Wonderful. Okay, excellent. And so now I would love to play a game with you. So do you have 2 pieces of paper out?
Here.
Yes, they're beautiful. Okay, perfect. So we're going to play a truth and a lie. So you're going to write one thing that's true about yourself and one thing that is a lie. And we're going to see if we can guess each other's. So I'll give you a moment to do that.
Okay.
Okay, great. So I will let you guess first. So I'll show you mine. So the first one is, I have done Habitat for Humanity 3 times. And then the other one is, I built a well. So,
oh my gosh.
Which one do you think is true and which one do you think is a lie?
Oh my goodness. This is like a 50% probability.
Yes.
Let's see. So I'd say for you, I built a well is a truth.
Yes, that's true. Good job.
It's a lot of probability.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Habitat for Humanity twice, and one of them I learned to build a well.
Excellent.
And, it was adequate. Let's just go with that.
You know, I'm gonna have to go see that for real in my life.
In Indonesia, it's an amazing well. I'll give you a map.
So for me, number one is let's see, I speak 3 languages. 2, I have a brother named Benz and a daughter named Tesla. And of course, my name is Jeep. Which one? Sorry, this is a little blur here. I'm just trying to find which one is true and which one is false. 3 languages and my brother named Benz and daughter named Tesla.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I think you speak 3 languages.
False.
Oh, so tell us a story about that.
Yes, I speak English and Thai.
Okay.
But I do have a brother named Benz and a daughter named Tesla. And my brother's daughter name is Porsche. So we goes by car's name.
Is that something that your parents did to you guys on purpose?
Yeah, they love cars.
That's so funny. Which cars do they have? Which of these ones do they already own?
Oh, they kind of rotate just to make sure that it doesn't hurt our feelings, you know.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, I've never met a family like that. That's so interesting.
Yes.
So thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview. We would love for you to share an initiative or a program or an investment or something that you're very excited about right now.
Yeah, recently I launched a new project called Skylab. So I have not mentioned that this semester I actually had the opportunity to drop in teaching at UC Berkeley, MBA business school. And I thought it occurred to me that I would really like to bring knowledge and resources that I've learned in Silicon Valley, in the tech industry, to Asia, 48 APAC countries. So I created this project, and we start small to really transfer and inject knowledge and experience to entrepreneurs and investors in the local region. And I would love for you to join me maybe in one session when we speak about venture capital.
Oh, that is awesome. And so how would people best find more information about your firm and get in touch with you?
Yeah, so website is under construction because we just launched and we are still making the website. So we We have Facebook page, see Skylab. We also have a Clubhouse. I'm hosting Clubhouse 7 a.m. California time, which is 9 p.m. Thailand time, 10 p.m. Singapore time. And the Clubhouse name is Everything VC and Startup. You can follow me, and then I'll invite you to the club.
Perfect. So make sure you guys to follow Jeep and all of her great initiatives, and like her Facebook page as well. We're going to put all of the links below in the description. And thank you so much, Jeep, for your time and joining us today for Spotlight.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.